So I had this amazing intro and then I looked at the file and saw that the audio was a flatline. My mic wasn't on. So that happened. I guess this will be the intro now. So anyways, welcome to Plant Coaster Vaddjian. If you're already asking like, why don't you just re-record the intro? It was me messing up on the intro. That was really fun to me. But again, the audio was a flatline. It's not recorded anywhere. And to try and fake a mess up will never sound good. So back to the footage, because I'm not going to whine about that intro for 5 minutes. Even though it's really sorely missed. Rest in peace, amazing intro. But then again, it's my channel, so it probably wasn't that great. But yeah, back to the footage, as I said before. If you don't really understand what I'm building right now, then I recommend you watch the last video. If I don't forget to put a link on the screen, which I tend to forget. 8 out of 10 times I forget. So yeah, let's hope that I finally remember to put a link in the video, because otherwise I'm just talking right now and you're like, oh my god, he did it again. But it's really weird building like this. Or at least, well, I think these are this is one of the few buildings with actual, not custom walls. All the other buildings, which I think you will see if you go to my Instagram, you will see how far I am right now. Almost none of them have like pre-built walls. And that's really weird for me. Half of these buildings I won't be able to make in a blueprint. But then again, how many times do I actually make buildings into a blueprint? Or at least make them available to you guys. Because just like those links in the video, I tend to forget. I'm just building, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I should put this in the workshop. I'll do it later. Continue building. Forget. I'm Squirrel. I don't think you can blame me. Well, you can. YouTube always can. I'm keeping that in the video because weirdness is basically the second name of this channel. I should probably talk about what I'm building again. It's really like, I say this park is really heavily inspired by Guild Wars 2, or at least like the Vabbi region in Guild Wars 2, Path of Fire. And it's, I think I already said this in the last video, probably did. I probably am just reiterating things I said in the last video, but it's mainly just color palette. Again, because this I know I said in the last video, but those buildings in Guild Wars 2 are huge. Like a 9-foot character looks tiny compared to the buildings. Yeah, it's already a bit of a hustle to make things like good in when it comes to height and size compared to the Blanco peeps. So to make something really outrageously big, which I will eventually do. I will, as the weenie, try and make a grand palace which will be huge. But for the normal village of Vaddjian, I try to keep it a bit to Blanco scale, I think you would say. Try. I look at the park right now and I see that I'm slowly increasing the height of the buildings. Anyways, I really want this place to look wealthy AF. So you will see a lot of golden trinkets and everywhere thing around. I think I already made a market stall full of jewels. Just gemstones lying around. Because Vabbi, as I said in the last video, is one of the wealthiest places I think there is in Guild Wars. So I needed to properly show that they had so much wealth that they couldn't really care less if one single diamond, ruby or sapphire was missing. This park, or building this park, has really reinvigorated the want to build, to play Gold Rush Nightfall again. Gold Rush Nightfall is basically like the expansion for the original Gold Rush, which brought you to Ilona. Ilona has never been in the base game. In Gold Rush 2, also no Ilona. But if you're wondering, am I like my scrolly self in other games? Yes. Gold Rush 2, I have actually never killed Titan. Anyone I create doesn't live long enough to do that, or I forget them. Like, I have 2 level 80 characters that are actually quite old, but they are basically just there because I want the birthday gifts. They're basically only there for that. I've lost interest in playing them long ago. And then whenever I create a new character, it's like, once they reach level 30, they mostly die. If they make it to level 80, it's a miracle. But by then, I'm mostly slowly moving on to a new character. So yeah, I'm like my scrolly self in all games. I'm like that in Dragon Age, I'm like that in Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis, and I will probably stay like that forever. The funny thing though is, I keep repeating myself, and I don't know why I find that fun to do. Like in Gold Rush 2, I keep exploring the same regions over and over again. Also quickly say, I have actually also not made it to Vabbi in Gold Rush 2. I'm basically just basing off Vabbi on screenshots that I saw. So yeah, I have made it to Vabbi in Gold Rush 1. That's why I definitely want to play Gold Rush 1 again, but I think it's almost like not 10 years, but close to that since Gold Rush 2 came out, so I think Gold Rush 1 is a bit deserted by now. So, but then again, I wasn't a multiplayer or just like a player who wanted to enjoy Gold Rush with a group. I always played it as a single player, so I don't think that will be a big deal for me. But it will be weird to see like this big hubs that when it was in full swing were loaded with people and now they are mostly empty. That would be a big shocker for me. I spent most of my childhood in those towns. Then to see them empty is just weird. Anyway, if I'm right, by now I have stopped using pre-built walls. Well, I used them in one building after this video, but that's basically just... No, actually I don't. I just remembered that. I don't use any pre-built walls after this. And my PC isn't crying, so hooray for my PC. I really want to ask you guys, how long did it take you guys to stop building with all these pre-built walls? Like, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, it's amazing that what you can do with the pre-built walls. But right now I'm just like, you have so much more freedom when you build your own walls. Then I also think like if you don't have like a good PC, you probably wouldn't be able to build all custom walls because your PC would just cry and slowly die. Because you probably saw the roof I built for the entrance. I can't make that roof into a blueprint actually, because it's over 4,000 pieces. However, I'm like, it's going to take a while, but eventually I will turn this park into the, what was it, Steam workshop, just so you guys can enjoy it, because I don't think this park will take as long as Steinopolis. Steinopolis is basically a live project because I want to keep that concept of a city, and this is basically going to be a village. But yeah, it's still going to take probably half a year to completely finish this. or like 3 months, somewhere in between that. Long time for one park. But then maybe there's some quality in that. Maybe. Or I'm just a perfectionist who just wants to have every single detail right. Also, the building you're seeing me build right now, which is kind of like, it's not, yeah, it's actually a corner building. Again, same strategy as I use in Theonopolis. Corner buildings have to be just that little bit more of a boom. So this one I can actually place on Steam, so if I don't forget to upload it, it will be there. So now I have two things to remember. Place this building on Steam and place a link in the video to the first video of this project. Get your bets on which one I will forget. Because it will definitely happen. And if I by now haven't forgotten it, I will give myself a slow pat on the back. Anyway, to talk about things that will be way into the future, but I just want to talk about them because I want to talk about them. I don't think I need a real reason for that, but yeah, I think this park will have like 6 areas. If you're a Guild Wars 2 player, or just a Guild Wars player, or just a Guild Wars, you know a bit about the game, you might know why I choose 6. Also, before you ask, no, it's not going to be 6 districts or something, because again, this isn't going to be a city, or at least I hope I can keep myself from making it a city. But I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, the number 6 is important. Any Guild Wars 2 player will immediately know what I'm referring to. I already want to say it. I'm really bad at keeping secrets. Actually, no. I'm just bad at keeping secrets from you guys. Anyways, this dome took way too long. Like, I had to redo this dome quite a lot of times. And this, looking at the later work I've done, is not the most, well, most difficult dome or the most detailed dome, I would say. So I would say that I am slightly improving in making domes and custom roofs and basically just building custom things. I don't think my computer is saying that, but then again, after the latest update, even Theonopolis is running without H. Well, actually Theonopolis always ran without H, but it's just better. Like, Theonopolis is still not that part heavy, so it's still really manageable, but yeah, it really lags down if I had 500 people in the park. So Theonopolis is right now empty. This park is also empty just because I didn't want to run the risk of it slowing down. Like, I look at the footage right now, I see people in there. Next video you won't see people in there because I emptied it out quickly. Also because they just started littering and I didn't have any cleaners, so I didn't want to hire cleaners just for that small mess. So I was just like, let's throw everyone out of the park and yeah, try to ignore the mess they made. So anyway, this park is basically inspired by Guild Wars 2 and then set in this Arctic biome. This is not really like the architecture you would expect in this biome, so, but then again, as I said in the last video, magic is the answer to everything. And some, like, yeah, I'm trying to give like a bit of sense of, well, not realism, because again, magic, but you know that it's not just like, oh, why does this city survive? Magic. No, that there's actually some thought behind it, like, oh, how does this work? How do they use magic for this? But yeah. magic in Guild Wars 2 is actually quite well defined in some areas. In other areas it's a giant mess, but then magic in itself is kind of chaotic. But for the snowy part of this park, I will probably do that at the end, so that I have like a clear picture of like this area will probably be like well maintained and this area a little bit less. Also with end I mean like when the village is done, not at the end of this entire project. So it's just like when an area is done, then I will do the snow for that area. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!